Right, that's Liverpool come away from the Etihad Stadium with a point. I think off the back of that second half, I think we can be very happy, considering Liverpool didn't have the best second half anyway. But Liverpool took the lead 13 minutes in due to courtesy to a rash challenge by Kyle Walker, yet again highlighting that he's not the best defensive right back in the Premier League, and that was just shown yet again. I think Liverpool in the early stages were looking at to getting in behind Manchester City's full-backs anyway. And the first 30 minutes in, we had a lot of joy, really. Obviously, with the penalty anyway, Salah putting it away anyway, as he does, as he has been over the last couple of seasons anyway. But Liverpool, after they conceded the goal from Gabriel Jesus, really found it quite difficult, really, in terms of the tempo and the momentum and the pressing, really. Especially in that second half. Everyone, let me know your thoughts at home on the game, how it progressed. Liverpool starting with the big forward four anyway, and obviously Salah, Jota, Mane and Bobby Firmino. I think Firmino really struggled today to really get into the game. I know over the last couple he got dropped in the Champions League for Jota, and obviously off the back of scoring a Champions League hat-trick, it's going to be very difficult to drop Jota. But would you have played a three in midfield anyway? I know it's on hindsight, it's very easy to say, well, could you possibly put a three in that midfield against Manchester City? I felt in that second half, City had a lot of possession, really, and given a lot more time on the ball, I think Kevin De Bruyne could and should have really, as I said, put Manchester City in the lead with the penalty miss. I know he's a Liverpool fan, deep down anyway. School of interviews, I'm saying he's a Liverpool fan. I reckon he missed that on purpose, but Liverpool got let off, really. It was never a penalty, don't get me started. We're not going to talk about VAR because we all know everyone around the rest of the Premier League has got the same agreement. How is that a penalty? If that was given for Liverpool or against an opposition team, I'd be saying exactly the same anyway. It was a shocking decision. And yet again, if you're going to be consistent, and the Premier League managers are wanting to be consistent, yes, there was a very blatant handball in the box for, I forgot who hit it off one of the Manchester City defenders anyway. It would have been very, very harsh to give it, but if you're going to be consistent and give Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne's penalty miss, then surely you've got to give Liverpool their potential penalty. Yeah, it was a bit harsh. He had his shoulder quite down, but yet again, it still hit his arm anyway. And in the deems, if you want to deem that in the game, in the new rules, however you want to interpret it, it's mad. It's absolutely shocking anyway. But I felt Liverpool's second half really didn't do enough to win that game. I think as the game went on, I think everyone at home, let me know your thoughts. I think Liverpool were quite content, really, with soaking up the possession and just potentially hitting Manchester City on a counter-attack. City, in terms of their game, they only registered 2 shots in the whole game. Obviously, 1 shot off target was the penalty from Kevin De Bruyne. I think Jesus, the way in which he engineered the space was absolutely fantastic. A bit of brilliance. I tell you, if one of our Liverpool lads scored that, I think we'll be waxing lyrical. Very similar to a classic Bobby Firmino turn in the box. Engineered, flicked it round the space, and you're on Russian, obviously Trent. What didn't get quite tight to him, really, but you can't take away from the turn from the Brazilian in the box anyway. Gini Wijnaldum, as they said on Sky, he was obviously when you're playing the two, Gary Neville said it absolutely spot on. Gini come very much out. He's used to playing in that midfield three, and it really left a lot of space in the middle anyway. I'm not blaming Gini anyway, but Liverpool were one of the very first moments really that we were stretched in that game. Didn't happen a lot today. Obviously, City had a couple of chances, but not really clear cut. So I'd say exactly the same with Liverpool as well. Everyone, I'm hoping off the back after the international break, just praying that Trent is not a bad injury anyway. Fingers crossed. It looked like a cramp anyway, or a calf strain or whatnot, whatever you want to call it. But I'm hoping that's not a serious injury, because obviously Jimmy Milner did come on in the second half really, and that just stifled Liverpool's attacking play, especially down our right hand side. Anyway, but yet again, I think, as I said at the top of the show, if you'd ask both managers and if you'd ask all of us at home, don't get me wrong, we want to win every single football game, but we went to Manchester City, got a point, and then we continue going after the international break just quicker. So yeah, Liverpool are third in the Premier League table with 17 points. Obviously, Leicester City and Tottenham are top. Obviously Tottenham top with a goal difference of +8, I think. By that account anyway, and obviously Aston Villa have still got 2 points anyway. It's 2 games in hand on the top 3, 4 anyway teams in the league. But there's been I'm gutted, don't get me wrong, I want to win every single football game, but I was really frustrated. I thought Liverpool, the way in which we started today, I felt we could have just continued to just get in behind that Manchester City backline, but we didn't create a lot of big opportunities. Yeah, Reds, let me know your thoughts on the game. Wasn't going to be a long one, everyone, but get your comments in the comment section below and we'll read through every single one of them in tomorrow's episode. But Reds, have a lovely rest of your Sunday night. Enjoy it, keep safe, and you'll never walk alone. Cheers.